Hey everyone, it's Desiree and I am here with Spellbinders, and of course this is our week of Spellbinders, and this is the Amazing Paper Grace die of the month. This month we are going to create a phone, a 3D vignette phone, and the more I work with these 3D vignettes, the better I'm getting. So these are the dies. Now this here, we've got a lot of circles that are going on in there. So I'll just take those out so that you can see those. So you have the camera front, and then this will also be its back. And then you have, this is actually the top of the camera. You have the pieces that slide inside. This is what's going to help create the ability for the vignette that these will sit in. Some banners that you can put into these cards here if you want to do cutouts. These are just miscellaneous. Some screws, the side connections for the camera, a little tiny register in the front, and then these are some bands, and then of course the side pieces to create those strips that go across. I have already cut my pieces through my Spellbinders. So let me get these out of the way, and I will go through the number of pieces that you'll need. Now I'm just going to keep these off to the side just a little bit, because then I'll be able to show you the die that goes with those pieces. So of course the main piece, that's the camera front. All right, these two screws up here, that shows you that it is the top. Okay. Then here's all of my other pieces. Oh my, don't want to spill them all over. So for these here, that is these two pieces that I just tape inside of each other. That gives me 4 of those. I need 2 of these, and that's this die here. I need a total of 6 of these cut. Okay, a total of 6. And then when it came to these two pieces, the bands and the little tiny mechanisms and screws and all of that, I cut them 3 times. I did it 2 times from ivory on each and 2 times from gold for each. And you'll see how that will work out. And these circles are just a combination of your circles as well. So this one here, you have this one coming into it, and then this is the embossed one, and so forth. And I will link down below to the video by Spellbinders for this die, where it is shown exactly how you can put this together as well, if I may have missed something or you're looking for another tip or trick. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to grab, since I have all of my pieces cut, hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, I also do have the files cut. I actually used some pattern paper for that, and I'll be cutting these pieces down because I'm going to put them on that side as well. Okay, so I'm actually going to do these first. I will be using my liquid glue, and that's my art glitter glue. I do feel that it dries quickly and grabs quickly as well. So let's see here. I'm going to grab my small scissors and I'm going to cut right along that. And I have 2 reds and 2 greens. So I am just going to make sure that these are cut. And I'm going to secure these in place. Now these pieces that I'm cutting away, they're actually trash. All right. I'm going to grab my tweezers too, because lots of small pieces, and I find that it is easier to do that. So I'm going to put this on the opposite side of my pattern paper. I did choose the pattern paper just to give it a little bit of a difference as it's sitting in the camera. And again, you'll see that as we go through. You see the tab is on the same side. So that's another reason why I'm adding, you know, different colors of tabs, because then the back will have some color variation. I am, as I'm putting this together, you will see, because the colors that I chose, it is going to have a Christmas feel to it. So when I saw the camera, for some reason, I immediately thought of the holidays. All right, I am going to put these down here. I'm just looking on the other side, making sure everything looks okay. And it does. All right, so I'll be able to set those aside. All right, so we are going to start with the front and the back of our camera. So we just take this piece and we just slide it in there. It's kind of cool the way it just does that. And literally, you're just going to put that in, and now you're going to glue that down. So you can just lift this corner up and push down. And you're going to do that on both sides. Now I have determined that this one's going to be my front, and this one here is going to be my back. Again, same thing. All right, so I'm going to place that one there. Since it's the back, we really don't do anything with that, but we are going to put something there. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the front. Okay. What I want to do is build the vignette. So this, of course, is scored when you die cut these, and I'm just folding them in. And you need 4 because you're going to have 2 on the bottom and you're going to have 2 on the top. Okay, now so now I'm going to grab these. And you can see I do have 6. I'm going to set 2 aside. So these I'm going to fold in half. They're nice perforated. And this is going to sit up. So when I put this, you want these pieces to come in towards you. So I'm going to go to the top first. There's a slit, slide up, and then come back down. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. I take this, I'm going to fold it in half. You can see there's a little slit right there. That is what's going to be on the top so that you get these boats. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to bend in, push up, and then that locks it in place. Now they may slide down again, that's fine, but you do want to slide them up because that's what's going to hold them. All right, I'm going to do one more. And then our last. All right. Now, I'm going to grab one of these and we're going to do the same thing. Except we're going to do it to the other side. So we're going to go in, slide up, grab the next one, fold it in half, go in, slit, go up. I keep wanting to reach for one of those. All right, go in, slide up, and then go in, slide up. Okay. So that's what our piece looks like. Now you can see that this mechanism we can move it back and forth. All right, and that's what you want to be able to do. And by doing this, you're working those papers together. So I like to do this before I place it in my piece. Now remember, when we place this in the excuse me, the camera, you want to make sure that these boats, these openings, are facing up. So I'm going to place this down like this. Now, I'm going to take my back piece and I'm going to line this line here on the tab right on the edge here, making sure I turn that over. And I'm just going into, and I'm turning this edge over in, all right? And then it should line perfectly up to each side, and it does. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue there. I want to make sure these are straight. All right, so I'm going to line the first one up, push down, and then I'm going to get that lined up as well. And I'm just going to hold that there for a moment. And then we'll let that come up. Now, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm now going to push this back down. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to take this as well. Now, I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to real quick build this first. It's okay that I've got the glue there. I'm just going to set that right there, but it's best if I would have both of those in there. Okay, we want to take these and we want to bend them back and forth, and we can break these up. These are perfectly perforated. And we're going to do the same thing, except with only one layer. So again, we're going to take the corner, go in, find that notch, push it right up. That notch is what holds it and secures it in place. And this time I'm making sure that the jagged edge from the perforation is pointing down. And now I'm going to grab my other one, making sure that when the flaps are bent, they are coming inside. And I'm going to grab each of these. Last one. All right. And the same thing. I'm going to flatten these out just a little bit, but I'm going to work this. Just going to work it. Because, again, it's like this is a good mechanism. You'll feel one side works better than the other. So this is actually that way. So I am going to glue this down. And again, we put that, I want this one bent down. And again, I'm going to line up that there and that there, and I'm going to push. And I'm just going to hold it just for a little bit. Same thing, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. I'm going to fold this in, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And same thing. I'm going to line this up on this side first. Again, I'm lining up the areas where I had this originally. And I'm going to fold that down. I'm just going to turn this just a little bit. And I'm just going to tuck that in. And I'm going to push that down. And I'm just going to hold it. Let the glue get attached where it needs to. I'm going to let this open up, and I'm just going to push it back and forth because that will help straighten up. Okay, so that is the beginnings of our vignette. So I'm just going to set that aside. I'll just set that right here. And you can see that when I put my cards in, you want to make sure that you're hitting one of those pockets, because then the pocket will absolutely hold your messages. So you can just make sure that it's sitting right down there. So it creates like a cradle for each of them. All right. Okay. So now what I want to do, take these circles. I'm just going to start building things up. Need some foam squares because we will place these around. Must have dimension, and I want each one of these levels to have that dimension. So we're going to have lots and lots of foam squares going in place here. And last one. All right, so we have that one. And then what I think is really cool, so I'm going to lay this down like this. So I'm going to put that there, or at least I want to. I want that to be the drop of it. I want that to come there because it's really cool. So as you're layering these, you get these different looks as you keep turning this and putting it in different angles, because that's kind of what you're doing. So I want that one to go there. And then that one is going to go there. Okay, so let's get that one glued in. Hopefully I'll remember. And then this is next. Oh, and here I go fighting with the release paper. Okay, and we'll put that there. This one's next. And then we'll put this one catty-cornered over here. And then one more. So you can have a lot of fun. There's no rhyme or reason. You know, there's many ways that you can cut these circles. There's many ways that you can put these circles together. All right, now we're going to do this last one. And I'm going to put that one there. Now I'm just going to reach inside and just push down so that we have that, and you can see all of that wonderful dimension there on that piece. Let me get these out of the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue my pieces onto their backgrounds. So I know this goes here. We're going to set that up there. This is a spare piece. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this. Nope. I'm going to do something else. But what I do want this to have a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm going to layer these together. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on top of the gold. So again, lots of dimension, but I'm going to offset it. I'm going to offset it just a little bit. All right. I'm going to set that there. I'm going to glue these together. So they are glued together. And now I think I'm just going to let, because these bands here, yeah, I'm just going to glue that band down. Set that down. And we've got the other one for the other side. So there's all kinds of, whoops, color combinations that you can come up with for this. Now I know you're probably still looking at this saying, okay, she said Christmas. I'm not seeing anything Christmas here. It's because I'm not done yet. All right, I'm going to take this, and this just sits right here. Push down on that. This just sits right here. Put that there. I'm going to put a dot there and a dot there. This is my wax pencil that I'm using. For some reason, it doesn't want to pick these up like it was before. That's okay. I can always use my tweezers. Tweezers are just as good. And then I will put that there. So I like the accent, these small accents that we are getting from those gold pieces. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with these. Now, I don't need those anymore. So I'm going to push those aside as well. Thought I was going to do some dimension, just layer these up. But as you can see, I've changed my mind, which is a wonderful thing to do. So what these are here, these gold pieces, these sit along the side of the camera. So when you lift up, you just set that right there. Just like that. So it's like where you can put the straps. Gonna add a little bit of glue down to the bottom again. And again, we'll just put that right there. Okay. We don't need these. So now I'm going to continue accenting with my gold. So I'm going to put a line here, I'm going to put a line here, put a line there, and I'm going to put a line there. Because that's where these bands come into play. So I'm first going to take this one, and this is all for the top. So I'm going to set that one in place right there. And then, so these can go to the side. Going to set this right here. Going to set this one right here. And then this small one is going to come right here. There we go. And these are just spare pieces. So that is our camera so far. Now, we must embellish. So what I've chosen to embellish the front of my card, again, to give it that Christmas theme, this is one of my favorite dies from Spellbinders. It's the Holiday series. This is an oldie. It is still available, called the Layered Poinsettia. It can make so many different sizes of poinsettias. It is absolutely my go-to. So I have pre-cut my pieces, and I am going to now build my poinsettia. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my foam board, and I just made all kinds of cuts. So I know this one's going to be the bottom, so I like to come in and then just go right up the middle. And then turn it around. And then go up that middle again. And I'm only going up the middle because there is embossing on this. To get these to curl back, I can grab my tool and just on the tips, curl that back. And of course, yes, I ripped it. Don't worry. I can easily fix that. Oh my goodness, we can just put that there and we can just make that skip like that. It's okay. Nothing needs to be perfect. So I'm going to do that now to all of the different colors that I have. So when you do this, hold on to your petal. And then one more time. Because I'm not quite sure what colors I'm going to use yet. Have not decided that yet. So you can see as I build this, take that one, put that just like that, and I'm going to put that just like that. I'm going to push that off. If I push that there, yes, you will still see that. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with the next layer. I want to come in with this one. I'm hoping And of course, all right, so we're going to do this. The piece is just a little bit big. Curl them out again. I want to add this to the center. All right, now we're gonna have fun again. So I'm using many of these layers. Again, you can make them as small and as big as you want, but I really want this to be layered because I'm only making the one. You know, usually I do things in threes, but one's an odd number, so I'm good with that as well. And I'm going to put that one there. And for that, I'm going to come in with that. More glue in the center. And these are so tiny. Now what's great is, now it also does come with a leaf type thing, but I like to use these. And now I'm just going to push down on this because that'll help push her all back. And then that's what our poinsettia looks like so far. Now what's great too, you can use these two as well. So let's not let these go to waste because, you know, that would make me be very sad. You never know, maybe we will just put two. All right. So now what I want to do first is get some ribbon because I actually want some ribbon to come along here. So I will be right back. Okay, so I've got my ribbon. I've got a thin, like 1/4 of an inch. This is 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to grab a twine. I love my twine. This is actually a thin jute. It's actually for jewelry making. And I'm just going to take these and I am just going, I want to double this up. So, because I want it big and flowing. If you've ever seen any of my videos before, I just love to have these trails and tassels and just everything going all over. I think it's really pretty. I think it adds something. Some people may think it looks messy, but that's okay. I mean, to each his own. So what I'm doing is I folded this in half. And now for me to make a bow, now people have been asking, me and bows, we do not get along. But as I keep doing this, it gets better. And people are like, well, how did you do that? So I take all of my ribbons and twines and threads and everything, and I wrap them around my 2 fingers. I hold them in both of my fists. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these 2 loops. So these 2 fingers here, my middle, push down while these are pushing up. Now I'm also making sure that I've got these 2 loops so that I can pull those fingers back out. Yes, you must do yoga to do this, and it can be very cumbersome. So I apologize. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 2 loops and I'm going to cross them. All right, so that when I cross them, I have that hole right there. So I'm going to take this loop, and I'm going to carefully, while I'm keeping everything together, this is not fun, people, and then I'm going to push them through that opening. And then I pull. I pull on both sides. And I just make sure that I have everything. Oh, and it fell apart. Yay! Yeah, it's because I let something go. That's okay. Let's do it again. If I can't do it again, then we're just going to do this off camera. Any other time I could just do this. It's because I'm talking about it. All right, so I'm going to fold this in half. Just make sure they're somewhat even, and they are. All right, so I'm going to twist these up just a little bit. Again, 2 fingers. I'm going to take my 2 middle fingers. I'm going to push down. I'm going to keep these loops together as best as I can. So this is what it looks like now. I'm going to take them and I'm going to cross them. So I kind of pinch them in these 2 fingers over here. I take those loops and I push them through this opening, which is right there. I then grab both of the loops and I pull. Jeez. Now something's missing here. There we go. Okay. There we go. And that is how I do a bow. Now I will continue to work this to make sure that everything is tight. Make sure I kind of like get the grasp of what's coming out from what, but also to make sure that my bow is tight. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just pushing this and pulling these to make sure these components are tight. And I should have 2 of everything. Okay, so I have an ivory, and then you can see this one right here is the one that I've just got to pull out right there. So now that works. And you see these 3 loops, okay? Those 3 loops are because of where I folded it in half. So I'm going to snip, snip, and snip. Now I've got my bows. I like the messy look. I like the it kind of going all over the place, because this I do want to sit right here, because then my poinsettia is going to sit right there. Okay, so I want to get this down first. And I am going to use my liquid adhesive. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to push her right down there, and I'm going to come in with my tweezers and just hold that there. And I'm going to let that dry. All right. Now, we're going to take our leaves. Now these I am going to pull apart. And I'm just going to bend them. Again, just to give some form to them. Again, I'm just bending them in half. All right. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to put some glue on this. And you can see I'm just pulling that out from the outside. I'm just gluing it to the back there. I'm going to take this one, and I want to come right off that one. Come off that. Need another light one, because I want that one to come there, and I want that one to come right there. Right, and that is going to sit right on top of that. This one's cute, but I will save this for something else, because we've got a lot of going on here. All right, let's see if I can remove my tweezers. I'm going to trim these some. All right, now for this, I am going to use a lot of glue dots. I'm actually going to use my 3D glue dots from Thermoweb, because I really want to make sure that this stays. Well, that's not good. All right. Got one more here. There's a lot going on here. And one more is a charm, and I'm going to put that one right over here. Here we go. And I need one more for that bow. I didn't think, well, I probably wasn't holding it long enough there either. Here we go. So we're going to take that. We're going to put that right there. We're going to take that bow. We're going to put that right there. Now we're going to take this. And we're going to place that right there. And I'm really going to press that down. I really need these glue dots to just grab on. All right, push this stuff out of my way. Now I have my gold gems here. Set some glue there, put there and there. Okay, so I'm going to take one of my large ones and I'm going to set that there. And then I'll take one of my smaller ones and I'm going to set that there. Going to have fun for the center of my poinsettia. Just placing different sizes into the center, just to give it some interest. And that glue will dry clear, so that will be perfect. There you go. That is our vignette. Now, let me put my cards in here. So one. And the last one. Now, you could probably, if you use thinner paper, you could definitely, you know, you put more in there. But when I saw this, as I said, I immediately thought of Christmas. You know, not that we use regular cameras anymore. You know, we use our phones, we use our technology. But for some reason, this just reminded me of Christmas. And the memories that, you know, we take, whether it's a phone or whether it's a camera, or anything like that. But I think it would be great if these held your photos, and you could definitely, because it's a pocket, put more in there. You can write on each of those cards the memory that you have of that day. But I think this is really cute. I mean, she's now got a telephone, a camera, all kinds of beautiful images to hold our memories together. I do apologize. That is allergies, believe it or not. Of course, with everything else, we've got to have allergies that are going on as well. So I do hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is the amazing Paper Grace die of the month for October. I had a really a lot of fun with this one. But I think it creates something really beautiful and very unique. So as always, I will have everything linked down below in the video description, along with the other clubs that are available for subscription from Spellbinders. If you have a question, please make sure you leave that down below as well, and I'll make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. The links also down below will be to their blog, their gallery, for more inspiration, and always their shop, because who can resist shopping at Spellbinders? I do hope everyone is enjoying their day. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of my group, and make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is ready for you to watch. I hope everyone continues to stay safe and healthy, but most of all, just do this just a little bit each and every day. Always be creative. Till next time, guys. Take care.